Hello, welcome to Gurukul's CAT 100 series, a series that's designed specifically to take you from your study room to the corporate boardroom. I am Prady Sharma and this is Verbal Mastery with Prady. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is today's passage. In case you want to take this up as a test, all you've got to do is go on to www.thegurukul.org.in, and once you click on the login button, you can go and sign up for the 100 days to CAT test series. Now this is a free test series, of course, to keep you all in check and make sure that you practice Quant, LRDI and VARC every single day till your CAT 2025 so that you're consistent and you crack it in your first attempt. Now, without any further ado, let's move into the passage and the questions. This is your paragraph number 1. Please read this passage, jot down all the main points, then we'll go into the second paragraph. This is paragraph number 2. Read this paragraph, jot down all the main points, and then we'll go into the third paragraph. This is paragraph number 3. Read this passage, jot down all the main points, and then we'll go into the questions of this passage. This is question number 1. Read this question, answer this question, and then we'll move into the second question. This is question number 2. Read this question, answer this question, and then we'll move into the third question. This is question number 3. Read this question, answer this question, and then we'll move into the fourth question and the last question of this passage. Alright guys, so this is the last question of this passage. Read this question, answer this question, and comment down your answers in the comment box so that we could cross-verify after I've completed the question explanations about how many questions you've gotten correct and why you were wrong in certain questions. Let's get into the passage explanations. So, the passage starts off with December 1st, 2022 is a momentous day as India assumed the presidency of the G20 forum, taking over from Indonesia. So, the past presidency was at Indonesia and now India has become the president. As the largest democracy in the world and the fastest growing economy, India's G20 presidency will play a crucial role in building upon the significant achievements of the previous 17 presidencies. Okay, so this will be a very, very important presidency. There will be a lot of development. That's what he is talking about. There will be significant achievements as compared to the previous presidencies. As it takes the G20 presidency, India is on a mission to bring about a shared global future for all through the Amrit Kaal initiative. So India is having some kind of an initiative known as the Amrit Kaal initiative, where it's focusing on the life movement to promote environmental conscious practices and sustainable way of living. So this is what India is doing, not the G20 as a whole, but India is focusing on this. With a clear plan and a development oriented approach, India aims to promote rules-based order, peace and growth for all. Again, this is all what India is trying to say, that India is promoting a rule-based order and peace and just growth for all. Just growth is fair growth for all. The 200 plus events in the run-up to the 2023 summit will strengthen India's agenda and the 6 thematic priorities of India's G20 presidency. The G20 group consists of 19 countries and EU was established in 1999 as a platform for finance ministers and central bank governors to discuss international economic and financial issues. So, the G20 and EU, okay, what do I understand? These were formed for discussion of international economic and financial issues. Correct? Okay. What else? Together, the G20 countries account for almost 2/3 of the global population, 75% of global trade, 85% of global GDP. In the wake of the global financial and economic crisis of 2007, G20 has elevated to the level of heads of state or government and was named as the premier forum for international economic cooperation. So, initially it was this, but in 2007 there was some kind of a crisis, there was some kind of a problem, and that is when heads of state or heads of the government were also included. Okay, and this became a premier forum. This became the most sought out forum for discussing international economic cooperation. The G20 has 2 main tracks of engagement: finance track for finance ministers and central bank governors, and the Sherpa track. The G20's proceedings are led by the Sherpa track, who are appointed as personal envoys to the leaders of the member nations. So, this entire passage is about the G20 and they are saying that there are 2 separate tracks. One track is the finance track and the second one is the Sherpa track. And now in this finance track, who are there? There are finance ministers and central bank governors, And in the Sherpa tracks, there are the envoys. Okay, they are the messengers of the leaders of nations. Okay, so what else is he saying? The Sherpas are responsible for overseeing negotiations that occur throughout the year, deliberating on the agenda for the summit and coordinating with the substantive work of G20. So then he goes on to tell us what are the responsibilities of these Sherpas, right? That is what I'm getting from here. Yes, then both tracks have working groups to address specific themes with representatives from relevant parties. Working groups this year will focus on global priority areas such as green development. So he's telling what are the themes that these G20 will be talking about, right? So we have green development, climate finance, inclusive growth, digital economy, public infrastructure, technology transformation, and reforms for women empowerment. Okay, so these are the 7 themes that we have. All these steps are taken to accelerate progress towards sustainable development goals and secure better future for the generations to come. Okay, so we are talking about all these 7 goals. So together, this G20 has 7 themes. Okay, it's going to talk about so that a better future could be envisioned. So let's go into the second part of the passage and see what happens. India will convene the G20 Leaders Summit, convene. Okay, in this context, you can think host. All right. So India will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in 2023 as 43 heads of delegations, the largest ever in the G20, will participate in the final New Delhi summit in the September later this year. Okay, so this is just some kind of information. He's saying that India will be hosting it and it will be a very large event. As a nation committed to democracy and multilateralism, India's presidency will be a significant milestone as it seeks to find practical global solutions for the benefit of all and embody the idea of Vasudevaka Kutumbam, or the world is one family. So again, he's talking about the Indian ideology, okay, what Indian ideology is and how it's trying to find solutions for all the problems that we have thought of before. Okay, the G20 summit is held annually with a rotating presidency, and in 2023, India will hold its presidency. So this year, India will, in 2023, India will be the presidency. The group does not have a permanent secretariat and is supported by previous, current and future holders of the presidency known as the Troika. So there's no one person controlling the entire G20. There is a presidency, but the secretariat, the one who is taking care of all the things, the discussions and all, is not there. Instead, it is supported by 3 countries which are known as the Troika, which form the previous president, current president and the next president. So the Troika in 2023 consists of Indonesia, Brazil and India. The G20 presidency also heralds for India the start of Amrit Kal, a 25-year period commencing from the 75th anniversary of its independence on August 15, 2022, leading up to the centenary of its independence. So this also boasts, so for India, this is another very, very nice thing. It boasts something called as Amrit Kal. Okay, Amrit Kal, which is nothing but starting off the 25 years. Okay, so from the 75th independence to the 100th independence year. Okay, so this is a very, very auspicious time is what he has said. Now, let's go to the questions. Which of the following inferences about G20's evolution is most strongly supported by the passage? Okay, so how did G20 evolve? Which of this directly comes from the passage? G20 primarily shifted its focus from financial stability to sustainable development after 2007. Again, this did not happen in 2007, this happened in 2023, although it might have started in 2007, we don't know about that, but it's not told in the passage, so this will not be the correct answer. Its initial purpose was to coordinate global trade policies, which later expanded to economic cooperation. Not really. Initially, it was about discussion of financial stuff, financial and economics related issues between the finance ministers and the governors, right, of the bank. So this was not really what was told in the passage. The elevation of G20 to heads of state or government level was a direct consequence of major international crisis. Yes, in 2007 there was an international crisis, after which they allowed the heads of state to actually participate, or heads of state to come and discuss as an international economic cooperation. So this is so far the correct answer. D, the G20 structure became more centralized and bureaucratic after its 2007 redefinition. So what's he talking about? After the 2007 redefinition, it's become more centralized and bureaucratic. Not really, right? Because even till today, they don't have a secretary at all. So if there's no secretariat, how did it even become centralized? Correct. So we can take this off. The best possible answer would be C. Now, the second question, the Amrit Kal initiative, as mentioned in the passage, signifies India's commitment to. Okay, so what does this Amritkal initiative really signify? What's the importance of Amritkal initiative? A, establishing itself as the permanent leader of G20 forum for the next 25 years? Absolutely not. Presidency keeps on shifting, so this is not what he's talking about. Okay, so B, a long-term national development vision coinciding with its G20 presidency? Yes, there's a national development vision, what India wants to do for itself, which is coinciding with it being the presidency or it taking up the presidency at G20. So this could be my answer. Prioritizing military cooperation, 1 minute. For the love of God, in this entire passage, he's nowhere spoken about military cooperation or geopolitical alliances. Okay, especially over economic growth. See, this is all about international economic, compatibility and international economic forum, right? So this absolutely cannot be the answer. D, exclusive bilateral agreements with member nations to boost its own economy. Again, has nowhere come in the passage, so this is going to be out of scope. This is going to be out of scope. We can remove D as well. The best possible answer for us would be B. Now let's go to the third question. According to the passage, the existence of Sherpa track is primarily to ensure. So what is the role of Sherpa track? We also made a mind map about this when we were doing the second paragraph. So please remember that. Otherwise, just go back to the video and check about that mind map. So A, that only personal envoys of the leaders participate in the summit's final decisions? No, they just wanted to make the agenda and everything for that year. They wanted to understand how the work would be done that year. So A cannot be the answer. Why? Because it's never about the summit's final decision. B, the continuous coordination and deliberation of G20 substantive work throughout the year? Yes, this is what's been given to us in the passage, so this may be the correct answer. C, a clear separation between financial discussions and socio-economic agenda items? No, there's never been a demarcation between socio-economic items and the financial discussions. Both of them are together. These people, the Sherpa track just facilitates the discussions for everyone. So C can be taken out. D, that developing nations' concerns are given preferential treatment in negotiation. Nowhere in the passage has he told us about which country gets a preferential treatment and which doesn't. So this is completely out of scope. I can remove this. The best possible answer for me becomes B. Now that you have stayed till here, please drop a like on this video because that motivates us to keep getting videos like this for you every single day. Let's quickly get into the fourth question and check how the answers go. All of the following are explicitly stated as the current thematic priorities for India's G20 presidency working groups, except. So which of these, all of the following are stated as the thematic priority for India's G20 presidency? Okay, so which one is not? Because we have except, right? Okay, so reforms for women empowerment for socio-economic progress, this was one of the themes. Yes. Okay, so this was there. Promotion of rule-based international order. Now again, this is what India said it would do. It's not about the G20 group work. So India saying something and versus its presidency and the G20 group work are two different things, right? So you should not confuse that. This is an except answer for me so far. Green development and climate finance, again, this has been told, this was what G20 would have discussed as a theme. Digital economy and public infrastructure, again, in India's presidency, this would be discussed in the G20. This is the only thing that India hopes to do. Okay, it wants to have a rule-based order so that it could give growth and just growth to everyone. Okay, so my clear answer should be B. If you have stayed till here, please tell us in the comment box how many answers you have gotten correct. If you have any doubts, please do not hesitate to put it down in the comment box and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please share this video with a friend who's looking for the right guidance in terms of verbal ability, quant or LRDI to crack their CAT 2025 in their first attempt. I'll see you in the next video.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.